Today's video will be on surface area of cylinders. So we've only got one learning goal for today, and that's by the end of the lesson you'll be able to calculate the surface area of a cylinder. Okay, so if we've got a cylinder like we've got here, and we were to kind of cut it open to, make it cut it open to see what shapes it's made up of, we can see that it's actually made up of two circles and a rectangle. So when we're calculating the surface area, we're going to calculate the surface area of those two circles plus the rectangle. So our formula for a circle is obviously pi r squared, and then we've got two of those, so we're going to do 2 times pi r squared to get our surface area of the circles here on the end of our cylinders. And then we also have to add on the surface area of this rectangle here. Now, obviously for a rectangle, the formula for the surface area is length times width. So our width would be across here, and this is actually going to be our circumference, which is going to be 2 pi r for the circumference of the circle, which will give us our width of our rectangle, and we have to multiply that by the height. So that would be our formula there for the surface area of a cylinder, and obviously we can simplify that to 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi r height, and that's how we work out the surface area of a cylinder. Okay, so we've got a worked example here. We have to find the surface area of this cylinder, rounding to the 2 decimal places. So our surface area of a cylinder is going to be 2 times pi r squared, so that's our 2 circles on the end, plus the surface area of our rectangle, which is going to be 2 pi r times the height, and then we can just substitute in our values. So 2 times pi times our radius, which is 5 meters, 5 squared, plus 2 times pi times 5 times the height, which is 25 meters. And from there we can type that into our calculator, so that's going to be 2 times pi times 25 plus 2 times pi times 5 times 25. So in our calculator, 2 times pi times 25 is going to leave us with 157.079, etc. So I'm going to round that to 2 decimal places, so 079 rounds to 0.8 plus 2 times pi times 5 times 25. And that's 785.398. Again, I'm going to round that to 2 decimal places, so 398 rounds to 0.4. Add those together, 157.08 plus 785.4, 942.48 meters squared, because it's surface area, so make sure you've got your units correct there. And that's all we have to do for that one. Okay, for our second worked example, we have to find the total surface area of this half cylinder rounded to 2 decimal places. Okay, so I'm going to kind of like open up this half cylinder so we can kind of see what it's made up of. So if we were to kind of open it up, we'd have our half circle here with our diameter of 4 centimeters. We'd have this flat base that it's got, and that's got 8 centimeters from here to here, and again we've got another kind of semicircle here. Sorry, put little arrows there. This is also 4 centimeters in diameter, and then we'd also have another rectangle that kind of comes out here, and the surface area of this one would actually be a half, because we've only got half a circle, so it's only half the circumference, half to pi r. So if we were to draw it out, that's what we'd kind of have. We'd have our 2 semicircles, each of them have 4 centimeters diameter. We'd have the base here, so this part here would be this rectangle here, and then the top part of our cylinder, this part here, all the way around, would be this part here. And this one would also be 8 centimeters, so along here is 8 centimeters, but the kind of width up the top here is the same as half the circumference of a circle, because it's only half a circle, so it's half the circumference. So the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, and it's only half, so it'll be half 2 pi r. So that means when we're working out the surface area of this shape, where all we have to do is we have to do the surface area of 2 half circles. So we're going to do 2 times our formula for a semicircle, so for half a circle. So it's going to be a half pi r squared plus our rectangular bit here, like the base, so which is length times width, so 4 times 8, plus the area of this half of our cylinder there. So it'd be our normal formula for a cylinder, but only half of it because it's only half a circle. So that's a half 2 pi r times the height. So that's kind of what we have to calculate there. So we have to do the 2 semicircles, the 2 half circles, the base, and that half of the curved surface. So I'm actually going to have to clear my screen so I've got enough space to fill in all my numbers there. So our surface area is going to be 2 times our half circles, a half pi r squared, plus that flat base, which is length times width, plus half of our cylinder there, which is 2 pi r height. So I can fill that all in. So I've got 2 times a half times pi times my radius, which is going to be half of 4, because 4 is the diameter, so it's going to be 2 squared, plus my length times the width, which is 4 times 8, plus a half times 2 times pi times 2 times 8. And then I can solve all of those. So my first one there, I've got 2 times a half times pi times 2 squared, which is 4, and that would leave me with, rounded to 2 decimal places, 12.57, plus 4 times 8, 32, plus my second lot, which is a half times 2 times pi times 2 times 8, which is 50.27. So then I can add all of those together. Do that on my calculator, so 12.57 plus 32 plus 50.27, rounding that, actually don't need to round that, so 94.84 centimeters squared, and that would be my surface area. So I've added up my surface area of 1 semicircle, another semicircle, so 2 half circles, the rectangular base, and then the half of a rectangle that's left when we open up that cylinder there, leaving 94.84 centimeters square. And that is the end of today's video on surface area of cylinders. Just remember, a cylinder is just 2 circles and a rectangle, so you just have to add the surface area of each of those together. And if you're ever confused, just kind of break the shape open, draw it out so you see actually what it's made up of. But of course, any questions, come and see me in class.